13.4 Initiatives and strategies for increasing participation. Scenario 1 is about Sport of 8, so it's about John and he's 13 years old. So barriers and culture. So there's opportunity barriers. So money, a lack of money will reduce the amount of opportunities for John to try new things. Coaching, so specialist coaches are required as water sports are uncommon, so staff should be highly skilled and it's hard to get these coaches. There are provision barriers, so the weather, so if it's too cold or wet, water activities will be stopped due to health and safety reasons. Specialist sports, so harder to get into due to complexity and lack of opportunity as water sports are not part of the national curriculum or extracurriculum. There are STEAM barriers, so peer pressure, so doing something that John's friends don't do will be hard and could make him want to drop out of the particular sport. It could his confidence, so if John had a lack of confidence, it could make him not want to participate anymore. Culture is the tradition, beliefs, customs, practices, sports and social behaviour of a particular society or nation of people. So cultural influences. So social economic background. So John doesn't have a lot of money, and this will influence the type of sports he can participate in. So sports like running for athletics will be common as it doesn't cost anything and can be done in natural surroundings. Sports that he enjoys like wakeboarding will be a lot harder for him to participate in for a long period of time, as the sport requires a lot of money. So age. So it can be a positive and negative for John because he's 13 years old, which means it's positive and he's more likely to carry on with the sport. But it's also negative because he likes an uncommon sport. He will likely to get negative peer pressure as he's not following his friends in the crowd. Gender. So lastly, gender will culturally influence John as he or his male friends may have a lack of confidence in a wetsuit as they're rather tight. This is the same for girls and therefore could reduce the participation in water sports. Sport of 8. So Sport of 8 is an Olympic legacy to increase mass participation. Applications from partners using the YL criteria to show planning and sustainability of activity suggestions. It's a 6 to 8 week course of 1 to 2 hours of coaching. It's free or subsidised, so you could pay like £1 to £2 per session. A beginner sporting habit for young people. Sport of 8 has 400,000 in England and 14,000 just in Sussex alone. It targets those inactive. So in 2015, 3,000 took part. It links with young offenders, unemployed, and the NHS. And there's also social benefits from it. So you meet new friends, you get life skills and confidence. And it goes beyond just the young people. It helps communities and families. And it's a lottery funded. So it's through Sport England to increase the level of community activity. So Youth Insight's old thinking was categorising young people about whether they like sport or not. Children were either non-sporty, semi-sporty or sporty. Children will be put in these sections depending on their behaviour and attitude, as you can see in the picture. For example, sporty people love sport and take part in it regularly, while non-sporty people hate it and don't take part. Semi-sporty people is where a large number of people seem to be. They are keen to take part in it, but when it's the right offer, which implies that if we change the offer so it's the right sport at the right time in the right place with the right amount of people, people will turn up. However, the Youth Insight's current thinking is for sporting behaviour people are either constantly inactive, irregular or constantly active, as their attitude is either positive, functional or interested, shown by the arrow. When positive people, when asked have a positive attitude and they say they enjoy sport. For example, this could be watching football. A functional attitude is primarily in relation for the benefits it offers, for example, if it's put on the CV or not. An uninterested attitude is that they don't have any interest in sport and they've could have had a negative experience. So it's also linked to like PE lessons as a child. Sportivate is used to focus here to get uninterested people interested. So Sportivate can help John, as there are transferable activities in Hastings, such as the new skate park that has been put in. Sportivate can fund John's transport to the facilities, which is good as John is from a relatively low social economic background. So whereas Hove Lagoon continues at a subsidised rate, so you can apply April to September because it's for better weather. Certain things can be done to help John, including water sports expert can come in and give presentations in schools. They can put posters around the schools so everyone can see it. They can provide taster sessions to see if the kids like it or not. They can do activities in summer, so it's positive attitude because it's good weather. If after 6 to 8 weeks they like it, then and they've learned how to do it properly, they could have subsidised or free sessions, and they could provide courses for CV, so it helps people in later life, so they're more likely to do it. Evaluation of Sportivate. So positive benefits. So the target audience, is for the inactive people to getting them active. Reduces cost. Youth Insight is part of an application, so they must be planned in quality. It can run for 8 to 10 weeks. Other fundings can be found to continue after this time. On the other hand, there are potential limitations. So because it's 10 weeks, which it limits the funding, so it can be hard to carry on. It's only aimed at the target audience, so it doesn't help the other people. And tracking post completion is hard. So to see what worked and what didn't work is hard to get because people don't fill out forms and that to show how they got on. So scenario 2 is about Project 500 and it's about Louise, as you can see in her scenario. So barriers, so opportunity barriers, so parental support, so she isn't getting the encouragement by her parents, therefore she might feel like she's trying to battle on her own. Ability, so there's a lack of opportunity for girls. Esteem barriers, so stereotypes, so girls can't do it, and her teacher gives the boys the roles, which isn't fair. Discrimination, so she gets told all the time that girls aren't as good as boys and she can't fulfill the role of a coach. And peer pressure, so her friends are telling her negative views and disencouraging her and telling her she's not good at what she wants to do. So age, so knocks her confidence at a young age and her talent is not being recognised. Gender, so for culture, so she might not have any female role models to follow as there are a lack of them in the first place, so she's not aspired to be like anyone, which might make her feel like she can't do it. Her socio-economic status, so Louise has money as she's completed her CSL course, and it's purely just stereotypical barriers which don't allow her to coach. As she is a talented footballer herself, she'll be able to use these skills to teach others and gender's just restricting her opportunities, which shouldn't be like this. So Project 500 is a campaign which involves 7 CSPs in the South. Their aim is to recruit, employ and maintain female coaches. They encourage any female coaches and provide support. They provide subsidised workshops, access to coaching courses, local and regional ambassador events, sharing good practices, and they're now a national project. Project 500 can help Louise as they can offer her money to subsidise her training and qualifications, a level 1 coaching award, ambassadors into schools to educate others, including staff and students, and there will be female focused coaching sessions which could be interactive for women, sports leaders awards, so encourage women to take part and be a role model. So potential benefits, so there's 3 national awards, 560 new coaches, inequality is taken deal of, so men and women are more equal, empowerment of female in a male environment, female role models, so increasing the amount of females playing sport and coaching, like Jessica Ennis, as you can see in the picture. This girl can campaigns to promote female sport, but there's also potential limitations, so it hasn't worked everywhere, as there is still an imbalance. For example, 30 to 70% of females to male coaches in Sussex, which is still a huge amount. Males are still dominant in certain sports, so like rugby in the picture, and Asian and cultural barriers exaggerate issues. So scenario 3 is about the school sports games, and it's about Sarah, and she has a mobility impairment. So barriers, so opportunity, so access, so a lot of older buildings and facilities haven't taken into account wheelchair access, which will restrict where Sarah can go, like as you can see in the picture, she shouldn't be able to get up the stairs. Transport, so Sarah struggles to get around to different places unless she has a specialised car which caters for her wheelchair, and if this isn't available she won't be able to participate. Provision, so school curriculum, so she isn't allowed to participate with her class in lessons as they haven't adapted the sport to cater for her needs. Competition, so travel for the wheelchair competitions, she has to travel really far, which she cannot do regularly. Facilities, so the facilities need to be accessible for wheelchairs. If not, Sarah cannot perform as she might not be able to get up the stairs, for example. This has happened to Sarah on many occasions as she cannot go to certain facilities, resulting in her having to travel further to get to their good facilities. And esteem barriers, so her confidence. So Sarah is self-conscious about her appearance as she has mobility impairments, and she feels like everyone is better than her. So cultural factors, so her age, so she is required to do a minimum of 2 hours of exercise a week, but she cannot do it with her class, so she has to do it on her own, which might make her bored as she cannot compete against others. Her ethnicity, so as Sarah is in a minority group and she is disabled and an ethnic minority, she may get unfair treatment, which may make some sports a deterrent to her. So school sports games, so they are a series of events in schools. They're combined with teachers and active Sussex staff, which are a county sports partnership. Their aim is to increase the quality of school sports competitions. So as you can see in the picture, there's 4 levels of competitions in school. Level 1 is intra-schools, so it's about mass participation in school. Level 2 is the intra-schools, so games against other schools. 3 is the county, so Sussex School Games, the big event at K2. And the 4th one is the National School Games, so it's elite, and so there's few chosen, which is the English School Games. The school sports games can help Sarah because they can provide wheelchair activities, so competitions for her. She's very competitive. For example, boccia. Athletics clubs can do sessions in schools to try and increase participation, and non-standard or non-curriculum activities can be done. So potential benefits, so it's a variety of non-traditional activities, so parkour as you can see in the picture, volunteering opportunities at school games for like her CV, inclusivity, so everyone gets involved and you can try a variety of sports. Potential limitations, so it's elite at level 3 and 4, so it's harder to carry on. It's only competitive, so what about their aim is to increase mass participation? What about the health and well-being for kids to understand their body?